Namaste. I was maybe like 7 or so when I realized, when little kids draw like the sky at the top of the picture and then ground and then things in between, but like the sky doesn't really ever meet the ground in the drawing. I remember the aha moment when I was maybe 7 and I realized while drawing, wait, the sky is the whole top. The sky meets the ground. It's not just at the top of the page. And then all of a sudden my art shifted. I think of art therapy as another realm of the mental health field. I have a license in mental health counseling, and art therapy becomes a tool to use in counseling, basically. So I think of art as another language as opposed to just spoken word. Images and even just the process of making things together can be revealing, not just for me. Like, I don't interpret artwork or make meaning for someone, but I think the tool of encouraging someone to make something about their experience can then lead them to more understanding about what they're going through. So I think about everything from someone who's living their life but feeling worried or anxious or is trying to work through an issue with a relationship to people who have severe mental illness or substance abuse issues and are hospitalized, and the type of art that would be used from each of those, and then everything in between. You've got alternative school settings for kids with behavioral problems. You've got just regular school settings for kids who just have the regular developmental challenges that come up of what's it like to grow up and how to make sense of friendships and bullying and all of those types of things. An art therapist goes to school and learns about that whole host of things, everything from different mental health disorders that you can get diagnosed with to just a regular run-of-the-mill living life issues that can come up. And then in our practice, finding different approaches with the materials to help a person achieve a certain goal, whether it's having fewer symptoms of an illness or whether it's being able to have healthy relationships or for kids to be able to communicate their needs better without tantrums. And so for me personally, I think a lot about different art materials for achieving a certain goal. For instance, if someone is really, experiences a lot of anxiety and really wants control in their life and tends to be really detail oriented and, pencil and pen, and if, God forbid, you needed to erase something and you couldn't because it was like marker or something, I would probably start introducing different materials that offered less control, like watercolors, to help increase that person's comfort with not having control, and then looking for ways to apply that in their daily life. How did that feel to make this thing on paper? How does that feel in other parts of your life? And so it becomes a metaphor for their own life experience, and hopefully if they can master not being in control in the art form, then they will feel more empowered to master that in their life and be able to realize it's okay to not have control over everything. The average American stops making art or being creative in that kind of way when they're 12 or 13. And so as a result, you run into a lot of adults who are like, oh, I can't make art, or I only know how to make stick figures. And I'm always like, well, of course that is how you feel because you stopped at 12 or 13. You didn't have a chance to expand and on your journey of creativity in that sense. And so I think if you can make a mark on the page, you can do art therapy, because it's not about product, it's about the process. These aren't necessarily artworks that are going to get hung up on a wall somewhere. It's really more for a person to make meaning about their personal experience. And so I've done art therapy with kids as young as 2 years old and adults as old as 104, literally. So, and everyone in between. So it's really something that's accessible to everyone. I think some common misperceptions of art therapy is that that an art therapist interprets artwork or has some sort of divine healing power or I guess answers to how to fix someone, and maybe people have that misconception about therapy in general of come and fix me, I'm broken, and I think of it more as we are all here to make sense of our experience. I think that's something humans strive to do, to make meaning of why are we here, what's the purpose of our being here. And so I guess I would like to send the message that art therapy is more of just a tool for people to make sense of their life experience. If they're going through a hard time, that we all need help sometimes. And an art therapist is just one person you can go to for that.